This is our slogan. It's the only slogan what we had. Sea calls. In Estonia, it's much better sounding. This is our team. Great experts for different fields. 8 of them were actively participating. Others are just named but not participating. And we had a very good discussion with different point of views and different fields of experts. So it was very heavily discussed. And we focused on challenges, listing the challenges, and divided those challenges into the 3 parts of it: space, time, and process itself. This is actually the only sketch design what we made. and it's visualize main problem what has been visioned here. So the sea calls, everybody wants to go to the seaside, but it's a little bit disconnected. The solution what has been given is very well connecting the shores of the other city parts, but between the city and the new connection roads, there is not as strong connections as it should be. There is like a wall between them. So these are the spatial challenges, what we are listed. So we actually, in Tallinn, the old City Harbour is here been quite a while. And it's a dominant of the city center. It is a unique thing to have actually a port in the city. So instead of removing it or hiding it, we should, in a way, expose it. But of course, it means that we have a responsibility to do it very well, so that all the decisions what will be done here or made here will be affect all the area what is surrounding. Another was the connections, as the drawing already showed. So connection between sea and the city. And it shouldn't be just physical one like streets. It can be visual one as well. Environmental impact. There is certain things what are here as sport activities, so we don't affect it as much, might be, but those connection point or public spaces should be a good example to made in the environmental impact, more or less make some things or good example how to use it in a way that you don't have to have a car to be here. This was already mentioned in the last presentation as well, that the streets are important thing as well. So we just listed it like a protects the street. It means that the public, public vein is a street itself as well. So it shouldn't be a dead end or a closed area or something like that. It should be like a public space as well. And how to make it like a tool, as a city building tool, and how to maintain the idea itself during the development phase. So there was a suggestion to have some kind of steering committee to supervise the implementation afterwards as well. And another issue, who are the users of the area? So it should be as diverse as it can be. It's not just tourists, it's not just very rich people who can afford the apartment, let's say. But it should be young or old one. Everybody can be here, and we have to have some kind of activity or something like that here that they want to be here. These are the spatial challenges. Time challenges. The longer view. So just like a slight mistake, we have the master plan 2030. So it is like the master plan itself should be ready in 2 months, and the first construction will be within, I think, 5 years or 3 or 5 years. So that was a question: what will happen in between? It's just a question raised, not answered. And the first steps, what we can actually affect right now, meanwhile, is idea to have a collaboration designer, open space curator, operator for the temporary solutions. Collecting the ideas from public workshops, brainstorming, from people, from stakeholders, what can be here meanwhile. Marking the area before it will be constructed. getting people used to come here and have some kind of activities, some temporary solutions. Testing the ideas, what is given even in the master plan already. And this just some ideas what kind of public events can be held here. So winter fairs, sport events, marathons. It was a very lovely one. Largest midsummer bonfire in Baltics can be held here, so why not? And of course saunas. We can compete with Finns. These are the process challenges. There was a lot of discussion about communication and feedback from the public, citizens, from stakeholders. So it should be more tense and like looping in a way. Then, of course, the timing of the planning process itself, the stages. Nobody wants to be here as an internal construction site. So it should be very well staged. And always, we can, with this master plan, we can, in a way, solve or give a very good idea for the overall area of Old City Harbour. But there is neighbors as well, what will be connected to our area, who are between the city and our area as well. So it means that they will be, has to be very well connected to our planning or our cooperation with them, that the city, the part of the city which will be developed here is not just a suburban area, next suburban area, but will be a city center and active place. So making the place together. And there was one issue, marketing or branding the whole area or the future development, what is here, will be coming here. So this is another little slogan what we have, less slogans and more low-key collaboration actions. And now I'm giving over to Anna Reiter.
Thank you. So to just briefly summarize what was discussed in our group, as Hele-Mai has presented, there were really three main themes that dominated the discussion in the team. So I think the first point that came across very strongly in the discussion was that of co-design and community engagement. We acknowledge that there is a wide body of material that has been prepared, both by the municipality, other design consultants, other groups, and by community groups and activists surrounding the relationship of the city to the port and the seaside. So I think that in the team, it was very clearly stated that everybody in Tallinn wants to have a voice in this process. And one of the suggestions that was made and tabled with the port was that of engaging in a co-design process whereby contributions and creative ideas could be taken from different community groups, different disciplines, people of different ages and backgrounds that could then be fed in to the master plan process. And we also discussed that might not necessarily be design-based, but it might be program-based or idea-based or activity-based, and the contributions of, say, children about what sort of activity they might like to see on the seaside is just as valid as, say, a retail proposal or a transport proposal. So the second thing that was discussed in the team was about the phasing of the project, with the acknowledgement that this is not a 10-year nor a 20-year, but maybe possibly say a 50-year project that's planning for future generations. What can we do right now that can help to open up the seaside and benchmark the project or signal to Tallinn and to the rest of the world that this project is going to come forward? And the idea was tabled about temporary uses. So are there any particular pieces of land within the port right now that could be leased to an operator that might put up a community function, ideas such as food fairs, a range of sports events, something that could be really quite informal and involve a very low level of investment from the port, just to actually open up some of the waterfront spaces now and start bringing people to the site while further development is underway. And lastly, there was a point in the team that was raised about vision. So, you know, what are the components of the vision for the port? Again, out beyond, say, design alone. And one of the topics that was discussed quite intensively in the group was that of sustainability. So while we acknowledge that maybe this will not be a zero carbon or a port in the, or harbor or development in the short term and maybe the medium term, there are ways that the development might be able to offset or plan for the future, whether it's through smart mobility or looking at more pedestrianization or reducing the number of vehicles that come to the development. And the sustainability seems to be one of the things that the vision for the port should look at, both in terms of environment, but also social sustainability and long-term development planning. So thank you very much.